actually embrace mistakes. You know, I don't want to make them all the time, and I want to make sure we learn from them, but we shouldn't fear mistakes, and I think that's the ultimate thing that makes us completely human is our mistakes.
Wow, so well said.
I shouldn't be here. I helped create the Mercy program.
You're before this court today charged with the murder of your wife. You have 90 minutes to prove your innocence.
Get me out of here!
Hi guys, welcome to Mexico. Congratulations for the movie, it was amazing.
Thank you.
And first of all, I wanted to ask you, your character trusts instinct when the system demands pure logic. Has there ever been a moment in your career as an actor when you choose to follow your instinct, even when everything was working against you?
Oh, wow.
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
You know, I have such a hopefully long career ahead of me. So far, I'm learning as I go. It's kind of like building the plane and flying the plane at the same time with my situation. But it's interesting to have an instinct that I already have in a scene or maybe with a script also match what everybody else is thinking about it, and or have it be completely opposite, but see how those opposites can kind of make the scene, what I'm learning. So there's been plenty of times where it didn't work against me, it worked for me, where I got out of my, this is all out of my comfort zone, but it's becoming my comfort zone. So I would say a lot of things have been working out of what I think would be happening or what I would think needs to happen, and it's worked in my benefit, not against me.
Yeah, especially in this movie, you were amazing.
Yeah, I think instinct is a huge part of what we do as actors, not only in performing, but also in making choices around the roles that we take. And there have been instances in my life where not only my own instinct, but the instinct of the people on my team that I really trust, my manager, my agent, where they'll tell me to say no to something that would have logically been a really easy yes. It was probably like after Guardians of the Galaxy came out, I was starting to get offers for movies.
Yes.
And knowing when to say no and trusting my instinct there and following the instinct of my team sometimes felt like I was defying logic, but ultimately paid off in a wonderful way.
After making No Mercy, did your perspective on the role of technology in everyday life change? Do you feel maybe more distrustful or more respectful of AI?
I believe my thoughts on AI are evolving the same way that the technology itself is evolving. But I don't know that it was necessarily my role in this film that had a profound impact on my evolving perspective in regard to AI, as much as it was just the world around us rapidly advancing and changing so quickly, and being mindful of how that affects me or that affects my children, that kind of thing.
I wouldn't say, as Chris said, I wouldn't think this film did. It's kind of everyday life, especially, I don't have my own children, but I do, I'm the cool aunt, I am the stepmom, and I have a lot of teenagers around me, and they're very hip to everything, so they actually keep me a little bit more on my toes with the technology and kind of things that are rapidly always changing and evolving. So I would say this is this film is actually right on time of kind of where we're at with the evolution of technology, AI. It's very relevant right now.
Okay. The film, especially your character, deals with the decision made under the pressure of not failing. As actors, how do you deal with the idea of making mistakes publicly?
Oh, that's our job. I mean, especially coming from the background of professional fighting, it's, repetition is the father of learning, and mistakes is the father of learning. I tell people, don't be afraid to fail, don't be afraid to make mistakes, just learn from them. So this, that's why we have so many takes, and a lot of times the magic is in the mistakes. It is in the fumbles, it is in the stutters, it is in the silence. Actually embrace mistakes. I don't want to make them all the time, and I want to make sure we learn from them, but we shouldn't fear mistakes, and I think that's the ultimate thing that makes us completely human is our mistakes.
Wow, so well said, 100%. I agree with everything you just said, that's great.
You're just gonna just point to me and just say.
She was great. I mean, you're right. I mean,
you.
So like the beauty can be in the flaws and can be in the mistakes. And so in terms of like making mistakes when you're trying to perform, when you're trying to do something, maybe you're aiming to do this, but then something else comes out, and in your mind, your perspective is, well, I failed because my bullseye was over here, but I landed over here. But it's like, no, we followed the trajectory of what you did, and it felt honest and it felt real. It felt maybe, so in that regard, mistakes. But in terms of like making mistakes as a human being living in the public eye, flaws and making mistakes, that can be tough sometimes because there's a certain heightened scrutiny around your life, and you feel like as though you have to kind of like this character, you know, you're like everything you're doing is being recorded. And I think now more and more everyone is realizing that that's not just exclusive to people who live in the public eye. I think any person who uses their smartphone has left a digital breadcrumb trail of who they are, and they may have to face that soon.
Yeah, it's very creepy. Is there any particular movie or performance this award season that you're personally rooting for?
Oh man,
So that's not a fair question. There's so
Because
many.
every movie and every performance this year was amazing.
really great. I thought Jessie Buckley in Hamnet did something truly remarkable. That was just incredible. I thought that Benicio was great as the sensei. He was always so good, but
great.
that role was particularly great. I thought Timothy Chalamet did a really great job. I thought Will Arnett actually did a really good job too in Is This Thing On? I thought that was awesome to see and refreshing to see him doing something like that. Everybody was great. It's, you know, they say, you know, it's an honor just to be nominated, but it probably would be true, I think. Everybody, the entire Academy class this whole year was just fantastic stuff.
Yes, this year was amazing for movies, and No Mercy is a great way to start this 2026. So congratulations for the movie, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you
guys.
so
Enjoy
much.
Mexico.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, Alina.
Goodbye.
This was about me
And you.
Maddie!